started here, guys, we want to welcome everyone to the Tioga Downs New York State Casino Open Rally here today. We thank you all for coming. We have plenty of people speaking here today on behalf of many different situations. I am Brett Reese, the Regional Racing Operations Manager for Tioga Downs and Vernon Downs. I'll be your Master of Ceremonies here today. We want to get started right off the bat with a thank you to owner Jeff Garrell of Tioga Downs and Vernon Downs for letting us be here today and hold this rally right off the bat. A round of applause for Mr. Garrell. We want to thank the GM of Tioga and Vernon Downs, Mr. Charlie Otto, along with Robin Torr. She's our hotel manager, and Erica Miller. She is the tourism and charter sales executive for Tioga Downs. We want to give them a round of applause here today to hold and set up this rally. First things first, we all know the reason we are here today is to get this casino and other New York State casinos that are currently closed open. As of right now, I want you to give a warm welcome to Senator Tom O'Mara as he will speak on behalf of Tioga Downs and the casino operation.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here to help support this rally, to get you all back to work, to fill the jobs, thousands of jobs that we have in New York State that are on hold for no apparent reason. How is it that the Indian gaming casinos can be open? And I haven't heard of any drastic changes coming from the result of that. We need Governor Cuomo to get these casinos, these racinos, these DLTs back in business. You know, the investment that stands here is incredible. But we've got several restaurants here. We've got a hotel here that's brand new. Hundreds of jobs right here in Tioga County that are desperately needed. Not to mention the desperately needed revenues that come from the gaming industry that the state badly needs. So we need to get our casinos back open again. We need to move the state to go with online sports betting, to get that going, to get that industry going, and to help boost this industry and our regional economy as a whole, but most importantly, to get all of you back to work, gainfully employed, supporting yourselves and your families. I want to say good luck to you all. Let's hope that we make a difference with Governor Cuomo today in moving this forward. God bless you all. God bless America.
All right, thank you, Senator Tom O'Mara, once again for your kind words and help here today at Tioga Downs. Up next, we would like to welcome to the podium the candidate for Broome County Legislature, Mr. Michael Vasquez.
Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Now I'm going to have some fun here, and excuse me, I wanted to make sure I got this right, so I wrote it down, because it's a very important subject that we're going to be speaking about. So as I said, I'm Michael Vasquez, and I am a candidate for Broome County Legislature in Broome County. And I say welcome to my colleagues and concerned citizens of Tioga and Broome counties. I would say good afternoon, but I cannot, because our governor, Andrew Cuomo, is preventing that. We're all here today because we want an answer and to seek action. An answer to the simple question, when can our casinos open for business? The action is actually opening them. You might think that this would be a simple thing, that since barbers and salons, malls and gyms, virtually every business of almost every description are now open for business to a limited degree, you might think casinos would be as well. Sadly, that is not the case. I wish I could tell you why. Our state and our counties demanded that we close down virtually every aspect of our lives to flatten the curve. We silenced our state legislature, focusing power on the governor and his advisors to get through this unprecedented crisis, and we made it through together. It hurt, but we did. We lost lanes, laundromats, thrift stores, and charities, and small businesses. But the curve was flattened. Deaths from COVID-19 in New York are now counted on one hand with fingers left over. That should be news to celebrate. It should signal the return to normalcy. Yet we are here today as this is not the case. Our governor retains emergency power and our casinos remain closed. We have no reason for either. In July, the national unemployment rate dropped to 10.2% as Atlantic City casinos reopened. For New York State, unemployment increased to 15.9%, even higher than it had been in June. Part of that is because Governor Cuomo has seemingly randomly decided which businesses can open and when, because he tells us it's for our safety, because we need to wait for a cure. In the meantime, as strong New Yorkers, we have rallied. We have ordered takeout to keep our favorite restaurants open. We have bought goods online from our favorite shops. We have allowed our governor to define when and where we can eat in public and what foods can be on our menu, because he has the emergency power meant to keep us all safe. Of course, we are safe now. We've not only flattened the curve, we've crushed it. Deaths due to COVID-19 are at the lowest level since we started counting in March, even in nursing homes. We are wearing masks everywhere and socially distancing everywhere outside of our homes. This all comes with a cost. Stress for the average citizen is at highs similar to those on battle zones. Every business and job fear that tomorrow they might not be here. Recreation is almost non-existent. So why are we at Tioga Downs and the large and small casinos and racinos across the state? We want to know that not only is our job safe, but so is the job of our neighbor. Because we are one community, united, and in unison, we want to relax. Over 5,000 of our friends and family cannot relax. Come October 1st, they might not have a job. Our counties, like Broome County and Tioga, may lose millions, hundreds of millions in tax revenue, which means that much needed services for those at risk could be cut. Our children across the state and in our communities could suffer as tens of billions of dollars are, is that right? That's the wind, sorry. Are taken from our schools. All of this because Andrew Cuomo apparently can't be bothered about an industry that he championed 7 years ago. Governor Cuomo won't say why casinos like Tioga Downs can't open, even as other businesses have been open for more than 2 months. Even as a community, we safeguard each other. This is unacceptable. If we lose even one casino, the state will feel the consequences. If we lose Tioga Downs on October 1st, how many small businesses in Broome, Portland, Chemung, and Steuben will also be lost? How many will become unemployed, struggle to keep their homes and to feed their children? How many schools won't have the supplies and teachers our kids need and deserve? The dominoes fall far much farther than that. Still, we don't need to go that far to understand that if the casinos are to be kept closed, if lives are to be put in peril, we, the people of New York, deserve to know why. It is literally the very least that can be done. Governor Cuomo, we call on you now. There are 5,000 workers. No. There are more than 400,000 of our immediate friends and family members of our New York extended family in just the southern tier alone that demand an answer and action. The answer is yes, our casinos can open, and the action is to open them now. I thank you.
Thank you, Michael. As he said, everybody needs a job. This state is suffering right now, whether you be a horseman, a casino employee. As we spoke last week in Albany, over 7,000 jobs as a family here today. We stand at risk with these 5 casinos in New York being closed. So I ask of you all, as one family, for the next 60 seconds, chant along with me, New York strong, casino strong, for 60 seconds straight. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. We can walk in a circle for the next 2 minutes. New York strong, casino strong.
New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong. New York strong, casino strong.
All right, everybody, thank you, thank you. Please take your places here. We appreciate it. A big round of applause once again. Thank you. At this time, it is my honor to please welcome to the podium Kamala Keeley, President of the Chemung County Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you for having me here today. It's really difficult to come up here and say something that hasn't already been said by my esteemed colleagues. But I think that's kind of the point of this rally, right? How many times are we going to need to implore Albany to hear the requests we are making before they listen? How many times are we going to have to say the same things until they hear us and understand that we are not asking to be a risk? What we are asking is to be a part of the regional recovery. Tioga Downs contributes more than $30 million to the state tax coffers. The state needs those funds right now. We read about it every day. They need that money. They contribute to the Finger Lakes region. They're one of our major tourism attractions. We need people coming here, recirculating dollars, importing dollars into our economy to help us on the recovery. They are impactful in Chemung County and the neighboring counties in what they contribute to our local economies. And as you can see right here, we're surrounded by all of you, the workforce, the several hundred employees, where this makes an impact in your lives and in your well-being every day, and in turn allows you the ability to contribute to the recovery in your own way. So I think the important thing to take away from this is that we're not asking Albany to open us back up business as usual. We understand that that time has passed, and that is not the time we're in right now. But we are saying that we can do this safely and effectively, and we're simply asking for the guidelines to be able to do that so we can put this economy back to work. Thank you.
All right, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a 5 to 10 minute break. I'd like to welcome to the podium Mr. Nick Bolshevik, a representative of Senator Fred Ashkar.
Thank you.
Senator Ashkar could not be here today. As you may know, he just had a newborn son. But he asked me to be here on his behalf to make sure you knew that he was behind you 100%. As the senator has said, all we've been asking from the governor are 3 simple things: consistency, fairness, and a fighting chance. That's all the Southern Tier has ever asked for. But it always feels like we get the short end of the stick, and that we have to fight for everything again. Mr. Doral has put forth a sweeping plan that we would argue is safer and more comprehensive than many of the malls and businesses that have already been allowed to reopen. Our message today is simple. Give Tioga Downs, its employees, and this community a fighting chance and allow them to safely reopen. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Now, I will do my speech as well as Robin Torr, who is our Tioga Downs hotel manager. So what happens here at Tioga Downs? Right now, the harness racing family is suffering. We are currently racing here and at our sister track, Vernon Downs, but we have had to cut purses, which is what the horsemen and their horses race for each and every week. So those purses are down practically 75% from where they would normally be. So, dear Governor Cuomo, the harness racing industry relies solely on the casino to supply its revenue, which was very evident about 10 years ago in the state of New York. I stand here today on behalf of both Vernon Downs and Tioga Downs in upstate and southern New York on behalf of the racing family. I have more than 700 standardbred racehorses and over 350 horsemen that take care of them daily, asking for you to please open your casino doors to let our horse racing family succeed and be able to live and breathe. The harness racing family has suffered tremendously in New York at several different racetracks over the last 3 months. Horses have been basically put back in the barns, not being able to race as their horsemen and owners cannot afford to take care of them. The other jobs impacted on behalf of horse racing that people don't think of: farriers, veterinarians, horse transportation companies, breeding farms. Horses at age 1 will not be bought. The breeding farms will take a tremendous hit on behalf of this casino and other casinos in the state of New York not being able to open where racetrack and casinos exist. We are talking of 1,400 jobs at risk right now. This industry has taken a hit so deep and so far it can barely stand on its own 2 feet as of right now. The casino money fuels the purse accounts in order for these horsemen to survive and for these tracks to be able to operate. We as a community have followed each and every protocol as a family in horse racing and as a casino put into place on your behalf. Now it is time that you answer our prayers, give us our blessing that other casinos as well as us will be able to open, and we know as a group that the density issue is not the issue, as other casinos in this state are open right now, operating at a decent capacity enough to fuel their bank accounts and be able to keep them open. As the horse racing community and as the casino community, we beg you, please open these doors, give us the opportunity to let our families live, succeed, and go back to work, which is why we are all here today. Casinos open. When do we want it? Now.
What do we want?
Casinos open.
When do we want it?
Now.
At this time, I would welcome Robin Torr to the podium, the Tioga Downs hotel manager who gathered us here today.
First, I just gotta find my letter. I'm buried in all this now. 1 second. Sorry. Where'd it go? Here we go. Okay. Mine's a little long. I apologize in advance, but really, I'm addressing this to the governor. So, dear Governor, our recent rally in Albany asked you for some guidance as to when we will reopen and to help save our local economies and our jobs. The response we got was underwhelming and too vague, so here we are again today. We are here to keep you to your words, which was, quote, in a matter of time, unquote, for us to open and get back to resuming operations and our jobs. Every day and every week that goes by, we have learned how to navigate our current challenges related to this pandemic, and immediate action was required to ensure the safety of our employees and customers in the casino industry and all other industries worldwide. We are all aware of the economic harm this pandemic has put us through, personally and nationally. Everyone has experienced a significant economic harm, to say the least. New York
York State casinos have taken the proactive steps to ensure a safe reopening for all guests and associates. We, as the frontline staff, firmly believe that we can open our doors safely, just as other state casinos across the country have, and our own sovereign casinos in New York State, such as Stone, which has been open since June 10th. Almost 10,000 casino employees across the state of New York are about to lose their jobs and health benefits in only a matter of 5 weeks. We are scared, to say the least. As much as we appreciate you protecting us during this unprecedented time, we need you to protect our jobs, our industry, and the future that we so greatly depend on. How do we open bowling alleys and gyms and yet not have a solid action plan to our own casinos, which employs so many New York residents and drives over $1 billion in tax revenue for our New York State education system, property tax relief programs, and our surrounding counties, which for Broome County alone is about $4.5 million a year. Our lack of attention to this industry will cost us meaning the taxpayers, $1 billion to make up for these losses, and our critical programs are going to be cut. Resuming casino operations and 5,200 jobs statewide will help create economic income for local counties, statewide education, and local municipalities that depend on this revenue. The 4 licensed casinos alone generate an average of $100 million a month and $1.3 billion annually, which will fall back onto the local and state economy. As we go into reopening schools for the 2021 academic year, these schools greatly depend on this tax revenue, and it can help provide them things like proper PPE equipment. Many schools are in these rural areas just can't afford it on their own. The New York State gaming industry contributes to the state's economic relief in countless ways, from food banks to schools to local vendors and local charities. The domino effect is massive. As we sit here waiting with our doors closed and we're watching the New York State sovereign casinos and our neighboring state casinos open their doors in the past few months with nothing but success. We watch them open and operate successfully. We also watch our local customers and guests travel out of our regions to go play with their discretionary income at other casinos, none of which are paying into the New York State tax revenue. It is very hard to sit and watch the tax revenue leave our state and regions, but we know how critical that income is for us and our New York State residents. You had mentioned that we are a non-essential business. However, we do beg to differ. Our jobs are essential to us, and they are essential to our families. A lot of us have made careers out of these casinos, and not to have many other opportunities locally where we are in extreme rural areas in New York State. We are not New York City, we are not downstate regions, and we have kept our infection rates low throughout this entire time. Mind you, our infection rate is still at 0.6%. I don't know how we're going to get any lower than that. I've spoken to my elected officials throughout our regions, and they too support our safe reopening plans and are confident that we can open safely. We want to save our jobs and our economy in our rural areas. They have all asked you to start communicating with our casinos so we can make a plan and have some insight as to when we can reopen. Not knowing the unknown is causing more stress for our associates and their families, and I believe is unnecessary point at this time. We all thought we were back to work in phase 4, which come to find out only days prior that we were now excluded with no further direction. We, the people of New York State casinos, want to work, save our jobs, and give back to our communities. We ask you, please, deal us in and allow us to open our doors well before October 1st so we can avoid a greater economic impact for New York State and the massive job losses for the upstate regions of New York. Allow our casinos time to get open before October 1st, as they will need some time to get protocols in place before we even open the doors and have staff and guests return. Stop gambling with our future and give us an action plan and some guidance. Thank you very much. And what do we want? When do we want it? Now! All right, guys, we're going to play some music. Take a break. Let your take a break, walk around, mingle.
This is Michael Vasquez, and I'm here with you. I'm at Tioga Downs, as you can see. The event is still ongoing. We're going to be wrapping up in just a little bit. But I know there's a very important question that I was hoping the media would ask that I wanted to give to you. Because the question you may be wondering, Mike, you're running for Broome County Legislature That's Broome County. You're in Tioga County. Why are you there? Well, here's a really good answer for you. Because the jobs in Tioga are the jobs in Broome County. The reaction is they're both connected. One community. We're the southern tier. There are over 100 people who work at Tioga Downs that live in Broome County, in the 13th district that I'm running for. Their lives, their kids, their homes are part of my concern. Their jobs are part of all of our jobs. And this isn't just, and I want people to understand what's the magnitude of this. Because we're not just talking about Tioga County and the casino. We're talking about jobs, we're talking about $57 million that goes to taxes in our communities. We're talking about Binghamton alone, Broome County alone receives $1.2 million in tax revenue just from Tioga Downs. We get another $2.4 million that comes straight from Del Lago Casino. That's $4 million in tax revenue for our county, Broome County, that is going bankrupt in 5 days. I think we need that money. Those are jobs that are going to affect us all. We're talking about $57 million going to our schools from taxes from Tioga and the other casinos that are helping to pay for our kids in their school supplies and being able to get teachers to make sure our schools are safe for our children. You know what? I think that's important. So why did I, Michael Vasquez, the Broome County candidate for the legislature in District 13, why am I up speaking before the public, telling you that it's important that Tioga Downs opens? Because I care about the people in Broome County, Tioga, Chemung, Steuben, Cortland, and the rest of New York and PA as well. We're one family, and this is an issue that's going to affect all of us. The media didn't ask me this, but I think you needed to know. So I thank you, and I hope you have a